Hey, welcome to the Automation Guild, where we all get together to help each other create test automation awesomeness. We'll be starting the show in a few seconds here, and today the show is going to be on a new release by Micro Focus, currently HPE, currently Mercury, which I think has been in the works for a while, and it's been something that people have been wanting for a long time. But it looks like they actually finally implemented it, and we're going to go all over that. So make sure you stay tuned for that special announcement about Micro Focus's new product. I need to move this thing. It's driving me nuts. So I'll be starting in a few seconds. I just want to give folks a chance to join the show. And while you're here, make sure to just leave a comment. If you like the show, make sure to like us, follow us, subscribe. Every time you subscribe, every time I go live, you will get an alert. So if you're not already subscribed to the Automation Guild show, why not subscribe now below? Or give us a big thumbs up if you like what you see. But today, like I said, we're going to go over some announcements in the news and also a big announcement by Micro Focus on a brand new test tool that they just released that I think you'll be excited about. So I'm just going to take a look at my comments, and then once I have that fired up, we're going to get started. All right, so let's just get right into it and enjoy the show. Hey, welcome to the Automation Guild, where we all get together to help each other create test automation awesomeness. I'm your host, Joe, from Colantonio.com, testtalks.com, and Guild Conferences, a blog, podcast, and online conference platform dedicated to helping you succeed with creating automation awesomeness. And in today's show, we have a few announcements, the biggest one coming from Micro Focus on a brand new tool they just released, so we want to stay tuned for that. Before we jump into it, I just wanted to go over some news around the web that I found dedicated to test automation. And just before we get into that, if you like this show, if you want to get alerts, make sure to subscribe below. So every time I go live, you will get an alert saying I'm live. Also, you can go ahead and click the thumbs up if you like the content you see. But right now, I just like to jump into what I'm calling news around the web about test automation, to go focus on some news items that really caught my eye that I think is going to impact us as automation engineers. All right, so the first one is a new report by Forrester. I don't know how many people actually follow Forrester, but they have reports all year long around the industry. They do a lot of, basically they interview a lot of people, and it's supposedly be unbiased interviewing. So they cover a lot of good things in automation, and one of the things they went over is, this is probably the most sexiest headline someone pulled out of it, but that in IT in 2018, 9% of the U.S. jobs are going to be replaced by bots, automation, or software. So, AI enabled, we've been going over this for a while, the past few shows, but it is something that keeps coming up in the news every time we look at test automation. It's something I think we need to stay on top of. And here's a report by Forrester, based on survey results, that says that in 2018, they actually do see that AI-based automation, not necessarily test automation, but automation in general, is going to eliminate 9% of U.S. jobs in the U.S. So I just want to say I think this is a good thing, because most likely if it can be automated, it's probably a lower value task or a very time-consuming task that's very tedious to do. So in my view, automation is good. And I think of myself as a technologist, right? So if you call yourself like a developer or a tester, or you give yourself these really narrowed focused titles, I think it really limits yourself. But if you consider yourself more of a technologist, a software engineer, it doesn't matter. Say automation, Selenium goes away, or it's replaced by AI. I don't care. I'm a technologist. I'm going to find ways to enable technology to help my company, whether it's automation, AI-based, anything to do with technology, I'm there. So I think that's one point that I take away from a lot of these studies we've been seeing. So don't freak out with this. A lot of times it's just, headlines that really are there to capture information or to capture your attention. Hey, Bhagava. Welcome to the Automation Guild show. If you have anything you want to add to the chat, let me know. and I'll try to stay on top of it. Thank you for your kind words. For some reason, I'm having issues, as always, with my chat, so I have it on my big computer. I can't get it on my phone here, so I've been going back and forth. I have to walk over to actually see the chat, but working on that. Hopefully it'll be solved soon. All right, the next one is, and as I said, I've been talking about this for a while, but it's just when I do looking for news items during the week, these types of things keep coming up, and I think it's important that we know them. And I think this is kind of funny. This one's with Aptly Tools. They recently did, I think 2 days ago, they showed their latest, they did a showcase of their latest visual AI-based testing capabilities at CA World. And I mentioned this last week, and what I think is funny, they actually sent me a new logo. They are the platinum sponsor for the Automation Guild conference, which is happening first week of 2018. And they told me I need to replace the logo. When I looked at their logo, the only difference is they added the word AI to it, and also monitoring. So we mentioned that, I think, in one of my articles, I mentioned that I thought Aptly Tools was moving towards more AI-based test automation, and a few days later, they came out with a new logo. I'm not saying I'm a fortune teller, but I'm just saying that it's kind of interesting. A lot of these companies are really jumping on the AI-based bandwagon, and they're not only jumping on it, but they're actually incorporating it into their logo. So if you want to see more information about that, just click on that bit link below, and it'll take you directly to that article. Also, based on our show last week, if you weren't here last week, you can always go to YouTube and check that out. Or you can go to Automation Guild. Sorry, I have so many URLs. You can go to guild.show and you would see that particular episode once I upload it. But we went over what I'm calling the 6 most innovative automation tools leveraging AI or machine learning. I didn't have Eggplant on it. So Richard from Eggplant contacted me this morning on LinkedIn and said, hey, by the way, did you know Eggplant also has AI-based machine learning capabilities? As I said before, I'll be honest, I don't know if these tools always have this functionality baked in, and now they're highlighting it as AI, or if they actually have made improvements that use real AI algorithms and machine learning algorithms. I'm not sure, but based on what I'm being told is that this is one of the things that they've just came up with, where Eggplant has artificial intelligence and machine learning that helps you to auto-generate test cases to optimize your test execution and help you to find defects. So Eggplant's really a helpful tool if you haven't used it. I don't use it, but some folks in my company do use it for really hard to automate applications that are usually not web-based applications, where they're older technologies where if you spy on them, you don't find anything. Eggplant has technology that's able to identify those type of objects. So if you have tricky type of applications, you should check that out. Hey, Manoj, yeah, good question. I don't know if it's just marketing. I hope it's not just marketing. Maybe I'm just people tell me I'm too nice. I don't know, but I don't think I haven't tried it, so I can't tell you if it's just marketing or not. But hopefully, it's not. All right, so tweet of the week, which is going to lead us into the main content I want to go over this week, and this is me being confused as always. But luckily, I have some contacts at Micro Focus that will help me out. Ori actually was at Automation Guild 2017. And they demoed something called functional testing functional tester or functional whatever. So I was confused when I heard the announcement 2 days ago that StormRunner just was announced. And StormRunner, if you don't know, it's kind of like how I see it. I'm not sure if this is how they advertise it. It's not a knockoff, but it's kind of like Sauce Labs or Browser Stack. So if you're using UFT for a while, it was a pain to really scale up your test automation suites across machines. It was nice within ALM that you could assign machines and do things like that, but it really, you were missing the awesomeness that you get with things like Sauce Labs. So I believe StormRunner is their kind of, not replacement, but equivalent of that. So it's their solution in the cloud that helps you run your test, execute your test. So if you were confused like I was, if you were going by their older name, HP Functional Testing, it's actually, the official name now is StormRunner. So StormRunner Functional. So really cool. So thank you, Ori, for enlightened me on this. And that's the biggest piece of news I found this week was Micro Focus actually reveals StormRunner functional. There's a few interesting things I find on this is that Micro Focus did acquire HP's test tools, so there were a lot of questions around are the products going to still be supported? Are things on the roadmap still going to be implemented? And, just a few months later, it looks like they are going full steam ahead with all the plans they already had when they were HPE, and they've rolled out StormRunner, which I'm sure I definitely know. I spoke to Ori when he was still part of HPE, and he gave me a demo that you'll see shortly on this that showed the functionality before it was officially named StormRunner. So, what are your thoughts? Is this something you're going to use? It's something that is kind of interesting. As I said last time, before we had vendor-based tools, and then we got Selenium, right, which is more open source, which is awesome. A lot of these open source-based solutions. But now when I see AI-based automation, it looks like it's going towards vendor. So if anyone knows any open source AI-based automation tools, let me know in the chat because that's something I'd like to write a post on. But to me, it looks like we're almost going back to vendor tools now. And maybe probably once they become popular, people like Manoj Kumar, who's a big supporter of open source and contributes to a lot of projects, will give to that particular project or create an open source project around AI. I'm not sure, but I think it's interesting. Kind of off topic, but it looks like we're going back and forth, back and forth. So you can't fall in love with the tool. You may love Selenium, but you may be replaced. I used to love WindRunner. WindRunner went away, so just keep your heads up. So Micro Focus, StormRunner functionality, really interesting. Tell me what you think in the chats. So if you haven't even seen StormRunner or you're curious to know what it is, I was able to meet up with Ori at, actually kind of funny, at a lot of things change as you get older, at Selenium Conference. So before, there used to be Mercury World, and then Mercury World was just towards their vendor tool. And it was just, when I first saw a vendor-based tool at a open source conference, I thought it was kind of odd. But it's nothing wrong with it. It was just, it's kind of like, wow, like the world has really changed. So it's open source and vendors working together now. Another rant I won't go off on, but that's just a setup for how I met Ori at the SourceCon in Austin. Here's my interview with him.
Views on your new product that you demoed here for me today?
Yeah. So currently, this new product that was firstly introduced during the Automation Guild, which is the next product that comes from the same line of products that's from QTP, UFT, Sprinter, and the rest of the functional testing from HPE. We are currently in beta, so we're open to any new registration that want to join the beta. What it does, then it's a cloud platform that allows you to take your functional tests that you have today in the tools that you're using, whether they are HPE with UFT and LeanFT, or whether they are open source with Selenium and Appium, and run them in several modes. The first one would be to run them remotely, if you're using Selenium, then remote the driver, or if you're using the HP tool, then in a similar concept. Or if you can also take these scripts and upload them to our solution, and then we will take care of everything, both the runtime and the execution lab. So all you have to worry about is the design time, so creating the script, upload it into our solution, and we will take care of the rest of it. While if you are running it remotely, you can leverage the lab service that we are handling for you. It also has ability to run exploratory tests, so you can also address the less technical and the more business-oriented testers of your team. So you can get remote access to a live instance of whether a browser or a mobile device, and let your business analyst or manual tester run the script, and then it will be saved in the same platform with the ability to take the manual steps and convert them into an automated script.
Awesome. Now, I know a lot of people are familiar with cloud solutions like Browser Stack. So is this something similar like that, where they can run any technology, doesn't necessarily need to be a UFT or a LeanFT script?
So it's kind of similar to the current solutions, where you have the remote execution with remote driver if you're using Selenium. But what is different is, first, it also supports the HPE tools. So if you have your assets in UFT and you want to run them in a cloud environment, then you can do that. If you have your LeanFT, you can do that as well in a similar concept. But again, the ability to take advantage of our runtime environment So you can take a script, upload it to us, and then we do the rest of the work for you. So this is where it gets added value.
So I think that's an important point you just made. It's kind of groundbreaking. You could take a UFT script, upload it to your solution, and run it in parallel.
Exactly. You can take a UFT script, a LNFT script, a Selenium script, or a true client script if you're using it from the performance solutions, and run it on parallel. We will do the orchestration, the runtime provisioning, everything. All you have to worry about is the designing the test and giving it to us.
Awesome. So when a test does fail, do you offer any sort of video playback of what happened, or how does that happen now?
Okay, so that's a great question. So we offer several things for unattended runs. We offer both a cross-browser overview, so you can see how your application behaved on the different browsers or mobile devices. After that, you will get a deep dive into the script level, so you can see exactly what the script did in each of the different steps. For each step, you bring the snapshot, the log, the actual transcript that allows you to understand what happened. And another capability that you're able to do in order to pinpoint the exact problem is to have the ability to compare between the different environments. So in case you have one environment that ran successfully and another that failed, you can easily compare between those and get exactly the understanding of where the problem was.
Cool. So does this integrate with your other technologies like ALM or Octane?
So definitely we have a native connection to the rest of the ADM portfolio. We are integrating with ALM Octane, both for defect submission, task sync. So if you have your user stories or defect in ALM Octane, we will pull that and show that to you in SRF, in the cloud solution, and also, the test will be synced between the different products. ALM Octane will be able to discover tests that are running in SRF and enhance it with additional reporting and information.
Awesome. Now, I know it's still in beta. Where can people get a hold of it, though?
So we have, and I will send you the link so you can share with the audience. So it has like its own product page.
All right.
What if I told you that here?
So, like I said, that this was done earlier in the year. I have a bad memory. I think this was in March or something when Selenium conference was in Austin. I could be wrong. If you went there, I think Lazy Coder was there. Correct me. But anyway, that's where I met up with Ori, and that's where he went over what was then a new piece of, still in beta, functional testing, and it has now been renamed StormRunner, and they just released it. So I just wanted to share that interview I had. I also have, and I don't know, we probably don't have much time here. I'm not sure how much demand there is, but if you want me to show you a quick piece of demo of what StormRunner actually looks like, I actually have Ori's 2017 Automation Guild session that I show pieces of it if you actually want to see it in action. So if that's something you want to see, just leave me a comment and say yes. If not, write no, and we'll just carry on with the rest of the show. But while we wait for that, I just want to address Nikhil just asked what my thoughts were on Docker with automation. That actually would make for a great episode, so maybe we'll cover that next week. I don't have enough time right now to go over it, but I definitely support it. And if you give me more of an example of what you'd like to see, I definitely can do that. But I could tell you from my own experience, what I did recently is my team has been struggling with the environments. So the problem with our software is it integrates with like 6 or 7 other servers. So our solution is 8 to 10 servers, and a lot of the integrations that have to be done are with the client applications. So it's really complicated. No one knows how to create it from beginning to end, and every time you run tests, I failed to mention we have 8 to 10 sprint teams. Each of those sprint teams have their own dev environments. So picture this, 8 to 10 sprint teams have their own dev environments, have 10 servers each. No one knows how to set it up right. No one knows how to configure it right. Something runs in Team A's environment, runs beautifully. You run it in Dev Team B's, it fails. Or you run it in what I'm calling my int CI BDD branch, which I consider the source of truth, and it fails, right? So it's just craziness, all due to the environment. So things like Docker can help you fix that issue. Well, we end up investing in something called SkyTap, which is really kind of virtual machines, but they serve up just kind of like Docker on the fly. You could tear them up, tear them down. And since doing that, I mean, just unbelievable the difference between night and day. Once you get the environment fixed, like I went over in one of the previous episodes of having a stability, using something like Docker, those type of technologies really can help get your environment in a stable place. So if that's something you're dealing with, that is one definite use that I could see. Besides, of course, being able to scale up and run your tests quicker and faster and in parallel, which is also a bonus. But just getting that environment stability was a big deal. All right, sorry, like I said, I'm having issues with my chat, so I have to go over to my big machine to take a look at it. But those are my thoughts on that. Like I said, we don't have time today, but I'll try to make another episode for it. Maybe Lazy Coder or Manoj. I'm sure these guys think about automation as much as I do. They might have something to contribute in that way also. All right, so I just wanted to reveal the 2018 Automation Guild t-shirt winners. I'm actually wearing one now. I'm probably not eye candy for you all, but I think it's a pretty cool design. I'm short also, so it also has a cool back cogs going on. So that's the winning design we had for one of them. But I also had a poll where we had a second shirt that came in pretty close, and I couldn't choose between them. So I bought both designs. So I have design A and design B. All right, design A. I love it. I'm wearing it. Design B. I also have an example of Design B here in live flesh here. I think it's kind of unique here. All right. So the only issue, and I wish I could, but I just can't afford it. I wish I could give away, when you sign up for Automation Guild, you get a t-shirt, but it's just prohibitively too much money. I can't, because it's over the world. I did like someone gave me a quote of over 10,000, 20,000 or something for the last Automation Guild, and that's when I was planning just 300 folks, not the 750 that actually joined. So what I'm going to do is I actually have them on Amazon, and I'm trying a new service called Guten, where I can actually I can drop ship to different countries. So I made it available at cost. So I know it's kind of lame, but you can buy it, but I'm not making any profit off them. And if you join the Automation Guild 2018 conference, I'm going to give away a ton of these things. So I can't give everyone one. I can't give everyone one. But if you join the Automation Guild 2018 and you participate in some of the polls, probably going to give 5 to 6 of these away a day. So make sure to join that. Also, my speakers get both of these. So if you're a speaker, check it out. All right, good swag. So I think that's kind of cool. I love these designs. I got them from Design 99 Designs. So that's my sneak preview and my book of the week. I just actually finished up this book. It is To Be a Machine. This book kind of freaked me out. You ever read about the singularity, where over time machines are going to kind of morph with biological healthcare type activities, so that over time, just like Moore's law, every year it gets better and better and better, and you can extend your life more and more and more and more. So if you can wait to that point of the singularity where the technology to keep us healthy meets that point where every year you get more and more benefits, so you can extend your life more and more. This is a cool book on the kind of people that promote that and how much quackery there is. So it talks about freezing your head, freezing your body. If you're like me, I don't think we all reside in our heads. There's some philosophy out there that talks about how there's actually, our body is very integral to what actually goes on in our brain. So I don't think we're just our brain. But that's a different thing that you probably don't care about. This book actually goes over all the singularity things, the quacks, the things that are out there. So after reading this, I'm like, maybe I don't want to live forever. Maybe I really don't want to freeze my head and be a robot because just kind of wackiness. But really good book. I know it's not really automation related, but it is technology related. So definitely check that out. How to Be a Machine. Adventures among cyborgs, utopians, hackers, and the futurists solving the modern problem of death. Sorry, dudes, but I think we're all going to die. But if not, maybe not. Check out this book. Let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed this show, make sure to go on over and at automationguild.com to check out our awesome speakers that we're going to have for the 2018 conference. We actually have Manoj Kumar in the house here on YouTube on the chat also, and he's actually going to be has some awesome sessions at Automation Guild, so you definitely want to check that out. Head on over to Automation Guild com and register for the largest, what I'm calling the largest automation conference in the world. That's where I'm saying it. In my opinion, based on the numbers I had, it was one of the biggest conferences I've heard of. So I could be wrong, but I'm calling it the biggest in the world for now. Hopefully it'll be this big this year in 2018 as it was in 2017. But what was awesome about the Automation Guild was not only were the speakers awesome, right? Of course, speakers are awesome, especially all the speakers that'll be there in 2018. But the people attending were awesome. We had all kinds of activity in the chat. Lazy Coder wasn't a speaker, but Lazy Coder was there. He was, really running the Slack channel. So it was just awesome. I love this community, and it was just a lot of fun. So hopefully 2018 we'll continue that. So our goal is you learn a tip, tool, technique, or best practice that's going to help improve or accelerate your test automation efforts in 2018 or help you with the new test automation efforts. If you haven't registered yet, make sure to check it out. Head on over to automationguild.com and register. And if you have any thoughts on how to make this show better, the conference better, the podcast better, let me know. Just send me an email at joe@testtalks.com. All right, so that's it for this episode of the Automation Guild show. As always, test everything and keep the good. And if you like this show, give us a big thumbs up or subscribe to get an alert every time I go live. And really show your love if you're really digging this. If you want to really get some automation awesomeness, accelerate your career in 2018, head on over to automationguild.com and register below at the register button. So that's it for this episode. See you next time. Thanks, guys. Cheers.